to access some of these classified records that pretty much provide all the evidence that they are connected through blood. Before I give you guys the presentation, I would like to remind you guys that I have a whole new set of classes that are available through my website, ourcosmicorigin.com. I have 3 different level ascension courses for beginners, for those that are intermediate that want to learn how to hack reality by connecting with the quantum field, quantum shift reality, activate the light body. And then for those that are super advanced, Ascension 3.0, where I teach you how to embody the totality of your cosmic self. And not to mention my groundbreaking class, Our Cosmic Origin, breaking down the entire cosmic infrastructure, describing the different types of advanced civilizations, their function, cosmic history going back to 998 billion years, and more. All of this through my website. And yes, guys, my classes are only $100. Very inexpensive. So it is affordable. And not to mention, I get to interact with you guys on a live webinar, and I get to hear your story for all of the people that are signing up for the first time. And to me, that is the highlight of teaching this course, is getting to know who you are and the work that you do. So all of that is available through my website, ourcosmicorigin.com. Another quick reminder, guys, I will be a guest speaker in Tucson, Arizona on the 20th of this month. I'm going to be speaking over at the MUFON Center. I believe it's on a Saturday at around, well, I don't have the specifics regarding the time, but maybe on Wednesday when I do an Ascension update, I could give you guys the timing. And I think that you guys have to buy tickets through them. But yeah, I'm going to be in Tucson, Arizona, speaking at MUFON Center this coming June the 20th, which is right around the corner. And one last thing, for those that are interested in detoxing their body from metals, nanotechnology, the stuff that they put in people's body, 2019-20, and of course radiation, the Folium is in stock. And not to mention, Father's Day is just around the corner. So what best gift to give your dad, which is the gift of health? All right. So the link is always in the description. And I also pin it at the end of the presentation. So we're going to get right into it, guys. This is coming from a Alliance Intelligence Briefing Report, classification level -0.9, subject matter, Operation Romanov, the hidden bloodline that connects Vladimir Putin and, of course, Melania Trump. So, according to this briefing, recently declassified records recovered from restricted archives have reignited one of the most controversial theories in modern geopolitical history. I don't know if you guys have even heard of this, but there is speculation that Melania Trump is related to Vladimir Putin. Well, according to these documents, Vladimir Putin and Melania Trump apparently share a common paternal lineage, making them half-brother and half-sister through a surviving branch of what is known as the Romanov bloodline. So what's happening now is that the alliance completely orchestrated this so that Trump and Putin 2.0, who is the real brother, or let's just say by blood related to Melania, could work together. So after this classified document was verified, this revelation would apparently connect 2 of the most recognizable figures of the modern era to a dynastic network believed to have survived the collapse of Imperial Russia and, of course, the revolutionary upheavals that reshaped Europe during the 20th century. So to give you guys some historical background here, prior to the Bolshevik Revolution, which was, of course, orchestrated by the Cabal, right? The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. That's where they groom their puppets for the Bolshevik Revolution in New York. Well, the Romanov dynasty apparently did rule one of the largest empires in human history, an empire that also included Eastern Europe. And this is why at one point Russia was much larger. And many people even speculate that that was the remnant of a pre-advanced Erusian empire, which of course we call Tartaria. So through generations of royal marriages, the Romanovs became intertwined with early major noble houses throughout Eastern and Central Europe. So official records, hidden records, let's just call them that. Actually, let me retrace. Official history, not the hidden records. You know, the false narratives that they always feed us, right? And the corrupt educational systems have taught us that the Romanov bloodline was ineffectively extinguished following the Bolshevik Revolution. Well, that was the greatest lie, okay? Because according to the classified records within the Alliance archives, it has been suggested that several branches survived in secrecy, to let you guys know that the Alliance has been around for a long time, through covert relocations, protected identities, and of course, carefully orchestrated genealogical concealment programs. So according to these records, the select descendants were dispersed throughout Europe in order to preserve the lineage until a future period of global transition. So we're talking about perhaps the grandparents of Melania Trump, or the parents of Melania Trump, and of course, Vladimir Putin here. Alliance analysts have uncovered evidence suggesting that Vladimir Putin and Melania Trump descend from the same paternal Romanov branch. Under this revelation, this is a surviving Romanov here that was established, that established separate family lines in the different regions of Eastern Europe during the turbulent years following, of course, the First World War, and then later the Second World War. And for those who read my book, The Secret Government, we all know that that was an orchestrated second 30-year war, right? Created by the Jesuits and the Rothschilds in order to consolidate power in Europe, break the alliance that was once in control of Russia, and initiate the Bolshevik Revolution along with the UN. So one branch remained connected to territories that later became part of the Soviet sphere, and eventually leading to the lineage from which Vladimir Putin emerged. Now, the second branch migrated westward into Central Europe, eventually producing the lineage that gave us Melania Trump. Even though they were raised in vastly different political environments, both individuals, Vladimir Putin and Melania Trump, would therefore represent the descendants of a common ancestral bloodline, making them related. Yeah, they are related, of course. So, according to the Alliance historians that have access to the classified information, they believe that the communist revolution and the subsequent world wars disrupted a centuries-old process of integrating Russia with Eastern Europe. And a lot of this has to do with, of course, the advancements of the globalist networks through the UN, which later evolved to the EU, NATO, so on and so forth. So prior to these events, the region functioned as an interconnected network of kingdoms, principalities, and noble houses that were united through shared ancestry, commerce, and cultural exchange. So the rise of ideological conflict fractured this arrangement, and that's when they divided East and West for generations. So within this document, the Putin-Melania connection apparently symbolizes the hidden continuity of a lineage that survived both the collapse of the Russian Empire and the geopolitical divisions of the 20th century. Now, some alliance researchers view the reemergence of this bloodline as symbolic of a larger reunification process that is now unfolding across Eurasia. Rather than representing political authority, the surviving Romanov lineage is believed to embody a bridge between civilizations that were separated by war, revolution, and competing ideologies, thanks to, of course, the Rothschilds. So, in this interpretation, the appearance of descendants on opposite sides of the geopolitical spectrum apparently reflects the gradual healing of these divisions that have shaped world affairs far more than a century. And even though mainstream historians dismiss such claims with no public evidence, of course, because they hide all the records, right? They confirm that this conclusions, according to the real records, that they are continuously continuing to investigate, that there is a possibility that the hidden dynastic lineages that survived the revolutionary era are now the same lineages that are helping to overthrow the expansion of the European Union. Well, this is what the alliance calls Operation Romanov, which may prove to be one of the most significant geological discoveries of the modern era. Now, Alliance Intelligence Briefing is also suggesting, according to these classified records contained within the Alliance archives, that the meeting between Donald Trump and Melania Trump was not a random event. Rather, it represented a carefully guided convergence point within a much larger geopolitical operation that stretches back decades. So it was all orchestrated for Trump to marry Melania by the alliance. Alliance planners understood that the 20th century geopolitical structure was reaching an end of its operational life cycle. In other words, the European imperial model, which is the resurrection of the Holy Roman Empire, had apparently dominated global affairs for centuries, and now they know that they are becoming increasingly unstable and incapable of supporting humanity's transition into a new era. So in order to facilitate the next phase of civilization, a series of strategic relationships would need to emerge between individuals that were destined to play a key role in the coming transformation. So among those relationships, none was considered more significant than the meeting that brought Trump and Melania together. So within this hidden history, the Alliance historians maintained that the old imperial power structure survived the collapse of monarchies and empires by transforming itself into a financial, political, and bureaucratic institution that continued to exert influence across the continent. The Alliance viewed this system as an extension of an aging geopolitical model, the old Roman Empire, that prioritized centralized authority over regional sovereignty. So for decades, the Alliance strategist monitored the gradual expansion of supranational structures throughout Europe, while simultaneously preparing an alternative future. And the objective was civilizational restructuring. So here's where the Romanov connection comes into play. The Alliance archives have revealed that Melania Trump is a descendant from a hidden branch of an ancient Eastern European lineage connected to the surviving Romanov bloodline, which, of course, we know was overthrown through the Bolshevik Revolution. The files further suggest that Vladimir Putin represents another branch of the same ancestral network. Well, let me make a correction. We're talking about Vladimir Putin 2.0 because the original Vladimir Putin was genetically modified, or rather cloned, by the cabal. Okay, so we're talking about Vladimir Putin 2.0, who is of the real bloodline of the ancient Romanov family. And so apparently, the files suggest that Vladimir Putin does represent another branch of the same ancestral network that was apparently separated by history, yet connected through lineage. They became symbolic anchors for a future reunification process that would eventually reconnect Russia with much of Eastern Europe. So in alliance circles, this operation is known as Project Romanov. The purpose was not the restoration of monarchy. The purpose was the restoration of cultural and geopolitical unity across regions that had been divided by war, revolutions, and ideological conflict. So, according to Alliance assessment, Donald Trump was viewed as a distinguished force capable of accelerating the dismantling of the legacy power structures prior to him meeting Melania. And again, a lot of this has to do with time travel, the Triple Temporal Alliance, John Trump and Nikola Tesla. So his role within the operation was to challenge institutions that alliance analysts believed had become disconnected from the interest of ordinary citizens. So by bringing together influential figures from different spheres of influence, the alliance hoped to create new channels of cooperation between Eastern Europe, Russia, and of course the West. So the marriage between Donald Trump and Melania Trump became a symbolic bridge connecting the future North American sphere with the emerging, resurrected Eurasian sphere at once the fall of the European Union happens, which is underway. So alliance planners anticipated a future world organized around large federated regions capable of cooperating while maintaining internal sovereignty. And this is what they call the Federated Supra-State Region Initiative, which is designed to replace the old world government centralized model. So under this scenario, two major regions would eventually emerge, and we're already seeing it taking place, right? We have the North American Federated Region, which is integrating the new economic system, quantum financial system, and strategic resources of North America into a unified framework. And then the second federated region, due to this marriage between Melania and Trump, is scheduled to emerge the Russian Federated Region, or the Russian superstate, bringing Russia and much of Eastern Europe into a cooperative geopolitical bloc focused on security, infrastructure, energy, and technological development. But this could only happen with the collapsing of imperial Europe. So rather than functioning as rivals, these regions would apparently operate as strategic partners, and that's what they've been doing for the last decade. Alliance documents also describe this arrangement as the foundation for a multipolar world in which no single power dominates the planet. So this is what they called the Great Transition. The Alliance believed that humanity was approaching the end of an age characterized by perpetual conflict between competing empires. Well, the new model would emphasize cooperation among sovereign civilizations, economic self-sufficiency, and of course, regional stability. So within this structure, the Trump-Melania partnership represented more than just a marriage. a marriage that was arranged by the alliance. It actually symbolizes the convergence of two historical currents, one being the future North American Federation, right? And that includes Greenland, and the coming future Russian restored federation. Excuse me. Now, alliance planners viewed this convergence as one of many milestones in a broader process designed to reshape the geopolitical landscape of the 21st century. The Grand Realignment, as it's called by the alliance, describes a world undergoing a profound transformation from the structures of the old age and, of course, into the federated regions, which is going to precipitate into a whole new world age. So within the alliance archives, the Trump Melania union stands as one of the most earliest visible signs that this transformation has already begun. Now, I also want to give you guys insight as to why there is word that the billionaires are getting ready to go into their bunkers. So this is coming from a classified transmission, subject matter, the bunker phenomena, why the elites are preparing for an event that they cannot escape. Let's just be real, right? Most people think that this has something to do with a perhaps nuclear reaction with Iran. Some people believe that it probably has to do with the sudden rollout of super AI, super artificial intelligence within the next month or two. And then some people believe that the elites are planning some sort of geopolitical catastrophe, and they do want to escape it, of course. But all of that is not the case, okay? According to the classified files, clearance level -9.8, for years, the world's most powerful billionaires, as it's been recorded on paper, and this includes, of course, the corporate architects. We're talking about the technocrats, right? And all of those people that are connected to BlackRock, Vanguard, Sam Altman. I mean, we're talking about the tech billionaires here. So the alliance has known that for quite some time, these tech billionaires have been, building underground bunkers with fortified compounds, with self-sustaining facilities, and of course, remote survival enclaves. Well, publicly, these projects are explained away as precautions against geopolitical instability, or even the rise of super artificial intelligence, or even cyber warfare, perhaps pandemics, economic collapses, or even social unrest. However, according to the alliance, they suggest that the reason why these billionaires are getting ready to go into their bunkers is because of something greater than all of these assumptions. According to this assessment, my friends, many within the upper echelons of global power have gained access to fragments of classified data indicating that the Earth is approaching a rare cosmic event, an energetic transformation that is originating with the sun itself. Well, according to intelligence sources, they speculate that various elite groups have interpreted ancient prophecies, sacred astronomical records, as well as classified space-based observatories as evidence that an unprecedented burst of solar energy will be impacting the Earth very, very soon. And it is coming. And they've known this for decades. So, because of fearing this disruption to civilization, the billionaires began constructing extensive underground infrastructures designed to preserve their influence and ensure continuity of operations. Yet, alliance documents have identified what may be a critical flaw in their calculations. Let me explain. You see, the planners assumed that survival is primarily a matter of shielding the physical body from external forces. However, little do they know that the solar flash will be penetrating every layer and fiber of the earth. So, according to these theoretical models examined by Alliance science divisions, this event would not behave like a conventional solar flare, right? Coronal mass ejection or a radiation burst. Instead, it would represent a multidimensional energetic wave interacting directly with the planetary electromagnetic field, thus completely disabling electricity and the entire power grid. And they know that, okay? So this is the reason why the billionaires are going into their bunkers, because the solar flash is coming and they know it, okay? Now, underground cities, military bunkers, deep earth facilities, and even hardened shelters, they offer no protection when it comes to the solar flash. Why is that? Well, because the energetic transformation would apparently move through the Earth's crystalline and magnetic structures. And the Alliance knows this. However, the tech billionaires that have been pulling the strings, or rather who have been puppeteered by the negative AI Omega, don't know about this. So the Alliance scientists refer to this as a total planetary saturation. No one is going to escape the flash, period. Every point on the planet would become immersed in the same energetic field, regardless of altitude, depth, or even location. So in practical terms, the bunker strategy would fail. Now, those seeking refuge beneath mountains or even deep underground would experience the same energetic exposure as those standing beneath the open sky. The fundamental misunderstanding here, according to this scenario, is the belief that consciousness can be insulated by concrete, steel, or technology. Okay, the solar flash has been predicted, and they know it, and that is what's going to take down the current infrastructure, as to why they're going to be going into their underground facilities. Well, it would also be interacting with consciousness itself when this happens, explaining the shift in human consciousness, the trifurcation of the different, Earth realities, right? Which is what I call the splitting of worlds. So this explains why many spiritual traditions have always spoken about this inner preparation. And when you really think about it, Galactic Jedis, even the ancient mystery schools consistently taught that there were periods of planetary transformations that have been navigated through coherence, self-mastery, compassion, wisdom, and even alignment with, of course, higher principles. And they have never been related to any physical fortification alone. So apparently all this has been documented based on prior evolutionary cycles. So the Alliance analysts, therefore, have concluded that the world's elite can be, and they may be preparing for the correct event, but using the wrong solution. Their response is technological. However, the required response is expected to be evolutionary. We're talking about the transformation of humans, right? The star seeds are going to be advancing into the stage of metahuman, superhuman, galactic human, luminous human. So perhaps they know that too, right? As to why they've been trying to prevent the incoming solar flash. Well, they have failed. And I'm starting to think that because they know of the deeper prophecies concerning the emergence of superhumans, they think that they're going to be hiding from being taken out by the superhumans. But little do they know that the superhumans are going to know exactly where they're at, And yes, they will be taken out. And like I said, that might not even need to happen because the solar event, the solar flash will be so powerful that it will penetrate deep into the bunkers, completely annihilating these tech billionaires, right? As we go into the positive organic timeline. And yes, my friends, today is June the 8th, and you know it. We are still on a positive timeline trajectory. Thank God. Okay, so let's continue here. So, should such an event occur, status, wealth, political influence, and even underground facilities would apparently have very little advantage. And that is just a fact. The determining factor would not be what one possesses, but what one has become. Now, the bunker projects reveal that powerful individuals may sense that major changes are coming, right? Well, because they also have access to the secret records. However, if the solar flash happens, they know, the Alliance, that is, the Alliance knows that no underground facility will provide immunity from a planetary transformation that permeates the entire Earth. Okay? The waves, the solar waves, will reach everywhere. And so the only true preparation is the evolution of consciousness. Now, following the discovery of accelerated bunker constructions among the world's wealthiest individuals, Alliance analysts began monitoring another unusual trend, and that is their strategic location. So, according to intelligence gathered from multiple Alliance sources, several high-profile technological technocrat figures have quietly increased investment in remote regions believed to be insulated from future geopolitical and economic instability. So not only do they know that something huge is coming regarding the solar flares and the solar flash, but they also know that, according to this assessment, that the stock market is very brittle. They also know that that we could experience a coming collapse in the economy as we know it, right? And so, according to Alliance analysts, it is suggested that certain members of the global technocratic class have concluded that the existing financial system is approaching a period of very, you could say, severe turbulence. So behind closed doors, discussions are reportedly centered around debt saturation, currency instability, artificial intelligence disruption, declining institutional trust, and the possibility of a synchronized global market crash. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the stock market, but right now, everything in the stock market is plummeting, okay? It's all in the red, and they know that something big is coming. So, in this scenario, some of the most influential figures in technology are believed to be positioning themselves in regions that they view as future safe havens. Alliance observers their note reports and speculation surrounding the movement of these prominent billionaires towards a strategically selected locations include Argentina. Argentina has emerged as one such destination. It is believed that they are now tracking where these billionaires are heading into. Okay, so the Alliance is now tracking the billionaires. They know that Peter Thiel has an underground bunker in Argentina, and they know that he is preparing to move there very, very soon. Okay, so within this intelligence models, it is viewed as a potential refuge due to its vast agricultural resources, abundant fresh water, and relative isolation from major geopolitical flashpoints. Now, they've also been monitoring the safe haven of Mark Zuckerberg, which is in Hawaii. And so These geographic separations from continental conflict zones and access to independent infrastructures have made them attractive to those seeking long-term resilience. Now, they've also been monitoring Alex Karp because he has an underground bunker in Florida. So Florida has likewise become another focal point, attracting significant investments in private compounds, data centers, and continuity of operation facilities. Alliance economists believe that these relocations may be connected to expectations of a coming financial reset, which is what we would refer to as the EBS. Looks like things are now going to be happening based on the actions of these tech billionaires. They are fleeing for a reason. Again, there are 6 positive, prominent Earth timelines. In one of them, we do have an EBS where even they, the technocrats, will not escape tribunals. On another timeline, positive timeline, we will have a solar flash. And even they will not be able to escape that. So it looks like things are finally going to be changing on Earth for the good. Okay, let me continue here. Alliance economists believe that these relocations may be connected to expectations of something huge that is coming. And they know it. Everyone knows it. Even we know it because we're awake. So this prevailing theory among the elites circles is that the existing economic order is entering its final stage. Unsustainable debt levels, weakening consumer purchasing power, mounting banking pressures, and growing distrust in traditional institutions are all cited as warning signs to the elites. Let's not call them elites. Let's just call them to these malicious billionaires, okay? Some believe that these individuals expect some sort of a major stock market crash, potentially accompanied by widespread economic disruption. Well, the only thing that would cause that is what we call the great financial, the reset for the alliance, right? Shifting us from a fiat system into what? A quantum system, backed by precious metals and golds. So I think they know that's what's coming, okay? In response, they have accumulated hard assets, land, energy infrastructure, food production systems, private security networks, and even underground facilities. And yet again, the Alliance researchers identify what they consider a critical blind spot. The planners are preparing for an economic collapse or even something beyond that, okay? They are also preparing for infrastructure failures because they know that the solar flash is coming, and they are preparing to survive, but they're not going to be able to survive because the Alliance is monitoring them. We have eyes on you, Alex Karp. We have eyes on you, Larry Fint, the leader or the guy who owns BlackRock. We have eyes on you, Peter Thiel. We have eyes on you, Mark Zuckerberg. We have eyes on you, Sam Altman. You cannot escape what's coming. You guys are all going to feel the power of justice. So I know I get all excited when I know that we are on the precipice of a new golden age timeline. How excited is that, Galactic Jedis? Well, let's continue here. So, according to the Solar Flash hidden records, let's just assume if the coming transformation is going to be energetic in nature, that means that the current financial wealth, the geographic locations, and even the underground fortifications will, of course, fail, okay? The event would not distinguish between billionaires and non-billionaires, all right, between corporate executives and farmers. No, no, no. The solar flash is here to fulfill prophecy, to eliminate the wicked. So even those underground luxurious compounds, right, are not going to do anything for them. Alliance consciousness specialists suggest that the real divide will not even be economical. It'll be vibrational. Even they know that that there's going to be some sort of a timeline split. The earth is about to trifurcate into different timelines. And I've been talking about this for a long time. All right. The Alliance knows it. And apparently now even the tech billionaire scum know it. So, in this scenario, guys, many of those attempting to preserve the old world are apparently unknowingly preparing for conditions that belong to the old paradigm itself, without realizing that this coming solar flash is here to destroy their entire AI infrastructure, the data centers. Don't even get me started on the data centers, okay? But it is projected that within the next 2 months, they are planning to take away 80% of our water to power up those stupid data centers. Well, I've always believed that the solar flash will be the thing that will be acting like an EMP, destroying the data centers and the AI infrastructure as we trifurcate into the positive timeline trajectory. So things are about to change like never before. I am ready for a new world age. I don't know about you guys, but it looks like we're heading there based on what's happening right now with these tech billionaires. They think they could hide, but they don't know the truth and the gravity of the situation, okay? So, the emerging paradigm suggests that survival depends upon adaptability, coherence to the new earth frequency, and more importantly, alignment with higher principles. So this is where the Bible speaks about how the first should be the last and the last should be the first, okay? So this is the greatest irony, okay? This is the greatest irony that may be that those who possess the most advanced technology always remain focused on external solutions while overlooking the internal transformation that is currently occurring across humanity. So to conclude, Alliance analysts have stated that the growing movement of billionaires towards these remote locations may reflect concerns regarding financial instability and systematic disruption. However, when the solar flash happens, right, no nation, no island, no bunker, or even a private compound that is, miles down the earth will be exempt from this planetary event that will change and purify the earth into the golden age. The transformation reaches every coastline and every fiber of the earth, every mountain, every underground facility, every human heart will be affected. The righteous will be exalted as in upgraded into the new earth, and the wicked will burn. And the wicked will burn, according to the secret prophecies. Now, there's a lot to look forward to, Galactic Jedis. There's a lot to look forward to. I do want to welcome all 3,100 people that are in the house. Thank you guys so much for being here and, of course, partaking in this live chat. I appreciate that. Now, I can't find my glasses once again. Wow. All right. Let me give a few shout outs before I open it up for Q&A. I see that Margarita is here. Melissa Harper is here. Neo Mom is here. No, New Mom is here. Remy is here. Darren is here. Cheryl, Kristen, Orvion is here. William Ryan, Wolf Mother, thank you so much for being a moderator, Wolf Mother. I appreciate that. You and Starcadian. I hope Starcadian is also here. MC Murr is here. I'm going to give to shout out some of the new people that I've never shouted out. Let's see who's new here. MK Lotus is new. Big shout out to MK Lotus. Sean from Canada. Shout out to Sean. Sunshine. Shout out to Valentina Sunshine, who is in the house. All right. You guys know the drill. Please type your questions in capital letters. Thank you, Edward Rusick, for your donation. Well received. I also wanted to thank Susan K. for her donation. Thank you so much. Can you turn on the air, please? Thank you. This fan is blowing dust in my eyes. Where was I? Okay. Here we are. All right. First super chat. Thank you guys so much. This is coming from Kenneth Brown. Hi, Ishmael. I'm here up in Calabs, BC, Canada. Are they going to clean up all the chemtrails? Well, from what I understand is that all of these negative things that they're doing, chemtrails, pollution, data centers, artificial intelligence, none of that will be existing in the new Earth timeline. So right now they're all coexisting, but it seems like very soon they're going to be going in their own separate directions. So we don't have to worry about the chemtrails in the new Earth reality. All right. And that is just a fact. Can you fill me up with more water with this one? This one's still clean. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. G, I guess J or G? J-E-E. I don't have my glasses. I don't know what I did with them. Oh, they're over by the table next to the bed. That's where I left them yesterday. All right, so your question is, hi, Ishmael, could you look into the current situation in South Korea? The Chinese Communist Party has secretly taken control from the inside, and the country soon the verge of becoming the next Venezuela. It's on steroids, or is it serious? I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses. Oh, it's serious. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that. Thank you for asking. All right. Pinka Addiction. Jennifer, thank you so much for the super chat. What do we do to prepare, survive the flash? Well, this is a vibrational thing. So as long as you're vibing with the new Earth reality, then you don't have nothing to worry about. All right. The righteous shall be exalted, and the wicked will burn. Just remember the prophecies. So we don't need to have an underground bunker, right? We don't need to prepare in terms of hiding or going anywhere. Just remain where you're at, okay? We're going to be shifting into the new Earth. Apparently, things are going to be happening because the billionaires are getting ready to go into the underground, and the Alliance is monitoring them. They think we don't know, but they are being monitored. Thank you. Finally, I can see I'm going blind. That was a song from Korn. I used to listen to Korn back in the day. All right, let's continue here. Do we have a date that this is going to happen? Is asking God's kingdom first. No, nobody knows the day or the timing, only God. And how long are we supposed to remain in our home? Just again, you don't have to go anywhere, guys. This is an energetic transformation, not a physical one. Okay. We're going to be shifting into a new earth reality where you already have a home there. All right. All you're going to be doing is upgrading into your new body. I am afraid of pain. Will there be pain? No. It's not going to be painful. Well, try to detox your body from heavy metals because the solar flash will not be interacting with metals. Okay, that's going to be painful. The less heavy metals you have in your body, the smoother the transition and transformation into your new body. So try to get rid of those heavy metals. Otherwise, it's not going to be a smooth transformation for you. All right. I have another super chat from Tammy. Thank you so much. Always look forward to your talks. Well, thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. No question, though? All right. Let's continue. Yeah, the surgery metals are okay. Not to the, I'm talking about, aluminum, barium, the stuff that they spray us with, graphene oxide, get rid of that. What if you have a bar in your leg? Don't worry about the bars. Don't worry about teeth fillers, those metal teeth fillers. That's going to be okay. There's a difference between having metal plates in your body, teeth fillers, and of course, nanotechnology. There is a huge difference, my friends. Carol, thank you so much for your super chat. She says, Ishmael, during the solar flash, what will happen to the people on airplanes? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen to the people on the airplanes. If they're good people, all right, if they're good people, at least 51% to service to others, according to the Law 1 material, then they will make the shift. Only the wicked will burn in the new earth timeline. You guys are asking a lot of good questions. Yes, you make sure you guys get rid of the aluminum, the barium, the strontium, and all of that. That's nanotech. I have another super chat from Rothan. Thank you so much, sister. She says, you never answered my super chat question from the last Saturday. If we're not supposed to go into the light, exactly what are we supposed to do instead if we die during the ascension? Well, first of all, you won't be dying during the ascension. Your body's just going to be transforming, very similar to how Enoch was transfigured when he walked with God. So there will be no death. Okay, there will be an integration between spirit and body. So there will be no death. And I'm sorry if I didn't answer your super chat last Saturday, but sometimes they erase, and I have no control over that. Okay? You guys are asking me questions like, what if you live in an apartment? Guys, it doesn't matter where you're going to be. What matters is that your frequency has to be of a high vibration. All right. So it doesn't matter where you're at. You could be on an airplane. You could be in an island. You could be on a continent. You could be at home. You could be at the park. You could be driving your car. As long as your frequency is a match to the near Earth frequency, you're just going to shift. Okay. It's a parallel Earth reality that's already here coexisting with this one. Thank you. I appreciate all the love. Thank you, guys. And I also appreciate the super chats. You guys are awesome. And Rance, thank you so much for your super chat. Your question: will Bibi and Trump burn after the flash? Well, the negative Trump and Bibi, not okay. The real Trump will not burn. Okay, the real Trump he is operating from an undisclosed location. He's not the Trump in the White House, but the other Trumps will. They will burn if they're negative, of course, but not the real Trump. And yes, of course, Bibi is gone. The Bibi that we're seeing right now is deep fake, artificial intelligence generated, not the real Bibi. What about people who have to take medication? You won't need meds anymore because your body is going to be restored. So you won't need to take medication anymore. What if the shift happens during your sleep? Then it does. Then you're going to wake up in a new reality, having access to your full consciousness and having these amazing abilities. How can Melania be Putin's sister if Putin was a replacement? Well, you're going to have to watch the whole presentation. I did explain that earlier. For those of you that are just jumping on, don't forget to watch this from the get-go. All right, I broke everything down. They are not related by mother and father. They are related by bloodline, okay? They are both descendants of the Romanovs, who used to, of course, rule the Czars of old prior to the First and Second World War. And I'm starting to believe that the Romanovs have been trying to restore Tartaria, but because of the Bolshevik Revolution that was conducted by the Jesuits and the Rothschilds, they failed. Jennifer Scholes, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, thank you, team. Will be in Sedona in November. Will there be any meetups? Also, what nighttime tours would you recommend? Nighttime tours? I don't know. I don't do tours. I just kind of meditate at the vortexes and try to establish contact. But now that I am on the subject, I wasn't sure if I was going to mention it on YouTube because it is going to be a free event, but I and my lovey are going to be conducting a CE5 event, trying to make contact with positive extraterrestrials here in Sedona on July 18th. And for those that want to make it, it will be a free event. All right, so join us from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And the address will be Oak Creek Country Club, Sedona, Arizona, 86351. On the 16th of July. 18th of July, I'm sorry. We're going to be conducting a CE5 contact event. So for those of you guys that want to join us, bring your own chair if you want. It's going to be a 2-hour event, and we're going to see if we could call upon the ETs to land, not just to see them in the sky, of course. So let's try to establish first contact this coming July. Anyone is welcome to come. Again, it's a free event, so we'll be there. All right, let's continue here. Grant David Wilson, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. He says, heard of the concept that the 144,000 are here to moderate the frequencies, to stop them from going crazy and flipping too early or wildly. So when the 144,000 harvested home to New Jerusalem, the time is right for the removal of stabilizers, and then the flash will occur. All right. Thanks for sharing, brother. Thank you so much, Ghazi, for your super chat. Your question is, are people already on the new earth? Yeah, there is a version of you that is already on the new earth. You just have to integrate with that aspect of you. In fact, a lot of the old souls, starseeds, wanderers, indigos that are down here in human form that have done the work are the first ones to already exist within the new earth, because the new earth has always been here. It's just that it's been covered over a layer this reality construct, right, which is like a false reality. So that layer is about to, it's about to, what's the word I'm looking for? Dissolve? That's the word, right? And so that's going to happen very, very soon. So, what's your opinion on El Nino? El Nino, that has to do with what? With global warming? That is not real. Global warming is fake. Flash is sun going micronova. Yes, that's another way of describing the solar flash. Our sun experiencing a micronova. Thank you for saying that. So when we wake up in the new earth reality, will my deceased son be there in the flesh to give him a big hug? Well, he's going to be in his celestial body, in his galactic body, not his human body. So yeah, he will be there in the flesh. Yes, that's right. Global warming is fake. Exactly. Thank you for pointing that out, Karina Lance. Let's see, more questions. Somebody says, global warming is total BS. At 6,000 feet here, we are still getting snow. Okay, thanks for sharing that.
What if global warming has to do with the increase in temperatures of the data center?
Well, yeah, no, global warming has to do with the increase of frequency and solar radiation on the planet due to our solar system emerging into the photon belt. I mean, guys, I did a whole presentation on 3 days of darkness. If you guys did not watch that, was it 2 weeks ago? Please do.
Lotus.
I'm looking for questions. I hope I have answers. Wesley, thank you so much for your super chat. He says, hey, Ishmael, Diana and I are looking forward to the solar flash and the freedom, sovereignty, and unity available to all of us. Please do the presentation that we saw in Sedona in November of 2025, again, here on YouTube. What presentation did I do back in November 2025?
When we were at the Cielo Connection.
Oh, yeah. I was revealing more cosmic history regarding the War of Andromeda, which is, our older sister galaxy. I didn't record that presentation, so I might just give it away for free here soon. That is a good suggestion, Wesley. Thank you. What are your thoughts on Spielberg's new Disclosure movie coming out? Well, they have to tell us always things before they happen. But I have a feeling that movie is going to have a negative twist. In other words, it's going to create fear in people about aliens, when in actuality, the Galactic Alliance are positive and benevolent.
We're going to go see it on the 11th, so we'll review it after the 11th.
Yeah, I think I need to first go see the movie and then give you guys my perspective on it. But yeah, I mean, it's coming out, so thank you so much, Siren-17 for your super chat. Aren't the Romanovs related to the royal family in UK? No, not at all. And how does that lineage work? Well, you have to understand that these lineages ultimately collapse into two competing bloodlines. One bloodline is traceable to Babylon. Those are the Cabal families, by the way, the Habsburgs, the Rockefellers, the Windsors. And then you have the Davidic bloodline of King David. And so the alliance, members of the alliance, like Putin, Princess Diana, Lincoln, the Kennedys, they come from the Davidic bloodline. So even though there are different branches of these offshoots, they're all kind of they all collapse into the two competing bloodlines. One is the Dark Brotherhood's bloodline, and the other one is the White Brotherhood's bloodline. Now, all of that is explained in my book, The Secret Government, Invincible Architects, this book right here. If you guys order The Secret Government, it's all explained there. And for those that are new to my channel, I am the author of those two amazing books, The Secret Government, Invisible Architects, and Our Cosmic Origin. And they're both available through Amazon, or you could actually go through my website, ourcosmicorigin.com. Yeah, I'm showing my books. There we go. Now they can see my books. Okay, cool. Next question. Have you heard anything about the Cabal creating quantum computers that will be able to use the hack into every computer and nothing else will be saved? Yes, but that is not happening in our timeline, guys. That is happening in the technocratic digital prison that they're building because they know that this current reality construct will be coming to an end very, very soon. Good question. Are you going to continue your videos after the solar flash? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I don't think so, because for those that shift into the new Earth reality, fifth dimensional and above, you guys are going to have access to your entire Akashic record. You guys are going to have access to galactic information. You guys are going to be multidimensional. So I don't think so. Yes, 5D is still very physical, so you will be able to interact. It is going to be a physical Garden of Eden, a heaven on earth. So yeah, you'll be able to hug people, touch people, and so on and so forth. There are a lot of pyramids that are beginning to activate. I did hear about that. That is so true. How do I know all of this? Well, I am connected to Commander Valiant Thor. So I have access to all the classified information as it arises, of course. Are there people that are going to come with us to the new Earth? Yeah, if you have family members that are genuinely good people, they're at least going to go into the 4th Earth. So you will have access to their reality, but they won't have access to yours because for the most part, a lot of the star seeds are going into the 5th dimensional Earth or above. Yes, even the animals and our pets are coming with us. Absolutely. Because they're also beings. They're also going to be ascending. Kate C. loves Jesus. Thank you so much for the super chat. Have you heard anything about the Cabal creating? Oh, I've already answered that. Sorry. Some of these questions just repeat, I guess. You guys are so welcome. A lot of you guys are just thanking me for all this information. You guys are so welcome. It is a great honor and pleasure to serve the collective. Yes, we are the bridge. Absolutely. We are the bridge between heaven and earth. This is another question from LCD001. How are the pyramids activating? What is happening to them? Well, for multiple reasons. Ever since we've recuperated all 12 major stargates, including the 10th gate Abaddon in Iran, a lot of the pyramids are now in a position to reactivate as they did in Atlantean times. So a lot of that has a lot to do with Earth getting ready to go into a new reality. Okay. So that's the reason why the pyramids are activating. In fact, that is part of the prophecies. The prophecies have always foretold that right before we enter the new golden age, that the pyramids would activate prior to that. So that is part of the prophecies. I wanted to thank Jacqueline Graves for her super chat. Thank you so much, sister. Appreciate that. All right, somebody's asking me, will those who have medical conditions like diabetes still ascend? Yes. Okay, put it this way. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but when this happens, there's going to be massive miracles worldwide. So if you're struggling with some sort of illness or health issue, that's all going to be erased, okay? It's not, you're going to be healed. It's going to be a spontaneous, miraculous healing taking place when this happens. So yeah, you won't have diabetes in the earth. That's for sure. That is right. We are going back to our original DNA blueprint. Do we need to stock up on food for late 2026? Well, due to the fact that I feel like the solar flash is almost here, in the new Earth reality, everything's going to be provided for. We're going to be under a totally new paradigm. So food won't be an issue. Everything's going to be provided for. The economy is going to be abundance for all. So I don't think you need to stock up if it's the solar flash. However, if it's the EBS, which is what they call 10 days of darkness, then it would be wise to stock up. Well, some of us look like different human or galactic. Well, you're going to still look the same, but with amazing abilities if you go to the 5th dimensional Earth and above. Question, flat Earth or ball spinning through space? Well, you are probably new to my channel. I believe in the spherical Earth. So yeah, it is a ball spinning and moving through space. The flat Earth PSYOPs was created by the CIA in order to debunk the secret space programs. Yes, we are going to have superpowers like He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Well, that's another good movie that I want to watch. Good question, Kenneth Brown. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Question from Kenneth Brown. Thank you for your super chat. Double diamond DNA sun. What or how many strands is that? Anywhere from 18 to 24. Well, you almost got it right. You said 24. So it's between 18 and 24 to activate the double diamond sun DNA strands. Ishmael, did many beings get out of the 11th universe that has collapsed, or did they all die? Well, all of them, with the exception of the Verdant, the reptoids, which is part Draco, part AI, part humanoid. They, through a temporal displacement technology, they were able to access our reality between 2018 and 2022. When the Galactic Federation of Worlds became compromised. I think I broke that down about 3 weeks ago. So if you're new to my channel, I would suggest to watch as many lives as possible going back to weeks ago. So that way, I mean, there's been so much intel that I provided here for this community through my lives. Good question, though. What is it, kitty cat? What about the 13 crystal skull? They have only found 11, or they have to do, what do they have to do with the energy on Earth? I don't know much about 13 crystal skulls. I've heard of them. I'm going to have to go investigate the matter and then, of course, probably do a deep dive for you guys at another time. The most informative show on YouTube, says Walkan Talk with Todd. Well, thank you. I take that as a compliment. Will the event in Sedona be recorded? I don't think so. No. Sue Zentz, thank you so much for the super chat, sister. I appreciate that. Mur13D, thank you so much for the super chat. Brother Ishmael, creating a wormhole using plasma physics in my dream. What dimension would that be, or was I in? Thank you. I don't know, brother. I really don't know. I'm sorry. Yes, even those that are mentally ill will have a instantaneous healing when this flash takes place. Absolutely. Ishmael, are we going to have something in restoring those destroyed universes in the future? I believe that at the end of the millennium, when we finalize and beat Omega, Anki, and all of their minions and their technocrat puppets, then yes, all of those universes that were devoured, consumed, and destroyed by the negative AI collective, the Animus Etordians, Mitra, whatever you want to call it, will be restored. Absolutely. No, the stasis sleep is going to happen during the 3 days of darkness. Again, for a lot of these people that are asking me about the solar event, the 3 days of darkness, what's going to happen, I did a whole presentation about 2 weeks ago. So go ahead and watch that when you get a chance. Patricia says, thank you, Ishmael, for another great presentation. And God bless you. God bless you too, Patricia. And you are welcome, sister. Um, the questions are going so fast. Thank you, Xeroth888, for your super chat. Any update on the 12 Stargate activation? Well, that's probably what's activating the pyramids as I speak. And for the record, guys, we have hundreds of pyramids worldwide on the surface, in the oceans, in the inner earth. So, yeah, we have hundreds of pyramids. Well, we need sleep after the flash. Well, once we are in our galactic bodies, I think there's only a requirement of 2 hours, 2 hours a night per sleep. That's it, not 8 hours. Thank you, Orvion, for the super chat. He says, brother, I have been having headaches 3 days in a row. That could be a physical symptom, yeah. Oh, I only sleep about 2 hours at a go myself. Wow, okay. So you are already sleeping like the galactics do. The galactics in the fifth dimension only require 2 hours of sleep. Will any NPCs have the opportunity to become fully human? No. There are a lot of detox protocols that are inexpensive, like cilantro juice, zeolite, oregano oil. So, yeah, find whatever works for you, but it's important to start detoxing right about now. What if our beloved family members turn out to be NPCs? Well, you won't be seeing them in the new Earth, that's for sure. Infinite Healing Lights, thank you so much for the super chat. After the solar flash, are the people ascending to 4D still going to need med beds? In the fourth dimensional Earth, yes, because that's where the Earth Terrans are going to be going into, and they will require to have med beds there, yes. Stephanie's asking, will some of us not remember or fully awaken until the flash? Are some veils so heavy we won't see until then? Correct. Yes. The flash is going to allow you to have full access to your memories. Absolutely. So we have to wait for that to happen. What are the characteristics of NPCs? They're soulless. They have no energy signature, no aura, lifeless. They're just like pretty much vessels for archons and demonic forces to operate with, to operate from. I heard very good things about hydro water. Now, as far as it helping you detox, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. You're welcome, Brenda. Thank you for being here, sister. Yes, NPCs are like zombies. Absolutely. Let's see. I'm going to answer maybe 2 more questions. Jacob, thank you, Jacob, for the compliment. Appreciate that, brother.